Okay, so now we're going to look at the settings that you need to set up in your Shopify account. So on Shopify, down here at the bottom is settings. So once you have your shop up, then you need to go to settings and you need to fill out everything just like you did when you started an Etsy shop. Okay, general is just going to be your store name, all of your information, your time of day, what your default weight is. This is very important. Okay, and your store currency. So you want to make sure all this is correct. Your payment providers is next. This is an important one as well. So you just set up using Shopify payments, and it's going to tell you what the transaction rates are. You're going to put in, you need to put in your bank account information in here. Okay. So these are all the types that are accepted. So see, they have 2.9% plus 30%, 30 cents. There's no transaction fee. So pretty standard. Okay, the next one is PayPal, which you can set up just by clicking the edit. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to sign into your PayPal account. Okay, Amazon Pay. So Amazon Pay is only going to work if you have an Amazon shop set up. So you would want to set up your Amazon shop, like if you were going to use Amazon Handmade, then you could set that up here so people could check out that way. There are a few alternative payments. None of these are ones that I use, but you would have to look through those yourself. Okay, this is if you wanted to accept COD. I wouldn't suggest that. You want to make sure that your payments automatically capture. You don't want to have to go in and manually capture each one. And this here is a optional. So if you're going to be doing a lot of transactions a month, you might want to look at the fraud protect. If you see that you're starting to get payments that don't go through, that come out to be fraudulent, then you would want to look into this. But when you're first starting out, you really don't need that. So the next one is going to be checkout. So this is where you can customize what the checkout is going to look like for your customer. So you can select from some theme options over here. You can look at what it looks like on different devices up here. So this would be mobile. This would be computer. Well, this is computer. This is iPad. This is mobile. So I like the theme settings they have. They're really nice looking. They're very professional looking, and they're free. So I would just go ahead and use what they have. Decide whether you want them to set up an account or not. You know, can they only check out with their email? Can they check out with their phone number or email? Which I think is good. Let's just make it that. It's good that they get shipping updates. You want their I would really do first and last name. That's optional. Second address is optional. Phone number is optional. That's fine. So use the shipping address by default. Okay. I don't want to automatically fulfill it because if something happens, I want to be able to make a change. Okay. Give them the sign up option at the end. You definitely want to send abandoned cart emails. So you can click here to customize your email. Okay, so it says here, you can ignore all this part, but it's going to tell them this is the item you left in your cart. You can complete your purchase while it's still available. So this here is all formulas, okay? So you don't really want to change any of this. I would just leave this alone as it is. All it's going to do is it's going to send an email to someone and say, hey, you left this in your cart and come here and check it out, okay? Okay. All right. So I would just check it to automatically send it to anyone who abandons their checkout. Okay, you want to make sure your language is appropriate. Okay, so this is where you're going to manage if you want to charge sales tax or if sales tax is included in your prices. So I had mentioned before that I put the sales tax price right into the price of my products because people, when they're shopping online, don't really expect to have to pay taxes. So I just pay them. I just add that. For me, it's 6%. I just add that 6% in, and then I'm able to pay it to my tax authority. Okay, so this is if you're going to have locations. So you can have up to 4 locations. This is great if you have a brick and mortar or you are using mobile, like if you did specific places every week. Like if you were selling at a marketplace consistently. You could set those locations up so that you could see how you're doing on those locations. Okay, notifications. So you do want to do order confirmation, cancel refund, default. I really just take all of these as is because I do want them to get all of the notifications. So you can click here to customize. So this is what it looks like. All I did was pick my colors. I like this. I think it looks very professional. So this is what it looks like. So when they check out, this is what they're going to get. And I think that, you know, what they have that comes standard really looks really very professional. Okay. So files. This is where your pictures are. If you had any specific files uploaded, this is where you would put them. This is where you manage your sales channels. So I had briefly mentioned this. So you can connect Amazon. You can, so this is your Shopify here. You can connect Facebook. You can connect Instagram. And you have your online store. So I have an online store. So what that means is that people come to my shop and it's not going to say hardworkingmom.shopify.com. It's going to say hardworkingmomstore.com, which makes it a lot easier for people to see. So you can go through and select which products you want to show on which channels, which I think is pretty awesome. Okay. So this is where you set up your online store. One of the great things about the online store is you can pick a theme. So you see how this looks, okay? And then people would click on catalog, and then this would be all of my products. Okay, so I don't have very much on here because I'm, of course, still transitioning over, and I wanted to show you as I was doing it. Okay. So this is the view that everyone is going to get when they come to my store. And you see how it says hardworkingmomstore.com. So that's easier to tell people, oh, okay, well, my shop is at hardworkingmomstore.com. Well, that makes it a lot easier than to have to say, well, it's designed by hwm.etsy.com. That's a lot more difficult. So that's one of the reasons why I like having the online store with Shopify. So if you are, like I said, if you're driving your own traffic, then this is a great advantage because it's easier to tell them that. It's easier to remember. They already know your company name. So you want to make it as seamless as possible. Okay. So if you click inside online store, this is where you can pick your theme. You can do blog post here. So you can create a blog post. And what's really great is to create a blog post about new products you have in your store, or a new method of doing things, starting a new store, carrying new products. These are your pages that you can have. So you can add pages to your online store. This is the navigation of what your store is going to look like. So remember, I have that domain of Hardworking Mom Store. Okay, it cost me $14 a year. I thought it was well worth it. So this is where you would get that. Okay, you would just buy domain. Otherwise, it's going to show up as your name.myshopify.com. Okay, so this is where you can put in Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel. Okay, Facebook Pixel is something we're going to go over later. So Facebook Pixel essentially is it's an app. It's a AI that part of Facebook's AI that collects information on your page on, you know, how many people are on your page, what kind of buyers they are. So it's something that you would use in advertising. Okay. So you can title your home page. Okay, so let's go back to settings. Okay, and you can set up, you can do things in each one of your shops over here on your sales channels. All right. So see, this is the only thing I have right now that is in my Facebook shop. So all you have to do when you go into Facebook is you just are connecting it. You're just allowing it to go into your Facebook and post there. Okay? And that's all you have to do. So you're just going to allow it to manage your page. It's going to say that. That doesn't mean that it is going to be doing anything to your page besides posting your products. So you do the same thing with this Shopify buy button, with this Amazon, and we can add in additional sales channels. by clicking this little plus. So you can add in eBay, you can do point of sale, messenger, house, okay. All right, so your account, so this is where you're going to manage, you know, what type of plan you have. If you wanted to add staff, and if you wanted to use one of the Shopify experts to help you with advertising or anything like that, you can hire them here. They do have an app that you can add in order to do your advertising, to help you with your advertising. Okay. This is just your billing. Okay. All right, so in legal is your refund policy, and you can create from the template. Your privacy policy, they have a template. Terms of service, they have a template there as well. So they do really make it quite easy for you. So that's all of your settings. All right, in the next video, we're going to go through how to add products in.